Hey you guys, welcome back to Lay It on the Line. It's your girl Jamila, and today my interview is with the one and only Miss Blkswan. Miss Blkswan, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm originally from New Orleans, Louisiana, and I've been here in Houston for about 24 years. So I kind of say I'm a Houstonian now because I've been here more than I've lived in New Orleans.
So how would you compare Houston to New Orleans?
It's a different vibe.
A different vibe.
It's a different vibe. It's not the same, but I mean, New Orleans is going to always be home. But I don't go home that often.
Right.
Because my life is here in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I raised my kids in Houston. I've been here 24 years. Yeah, home is Houston.
Okay, so with home being Houston and with you being the poet, for those of you guys who don't know Miss Blkswan right now, Miss Blkswan is a poet. How long have you been doing poetry or spoken word?
Okay, so writing, April makes 1 year.
Okay, so you an author? Do you write books or is just writing the poetry?
I'm writing poetry for 1 year. So
Okay.
I am an author.
Yes.
In my professional life.
Yes.
I'm a 4-time author, international speaker. I'm not new to this. I'm
Yes.
new to poetry.
Okay.
I'm not new to the mic, though.
I would never have thought that you were new to poetry. Now, I saw Blkswan. She was one of our poets on Rhythm and Poetry. And when she came up, baby, she waltzed up there with her little black dress on. And when she opened her mouth and those spoken words came out, no, she been doing this her whole life. Not no 1 year.
No.
So what got you into poetry, writing poetry?
Honestly, therapy.
Okay.
Therapy. I'm still in therapy.
Okay.
And I love therapy. Thank you to my therapist. She has been wonderful. I went through a pretty bad breakup that shattered me more than anything that's ever hurt me because I thought I had got it right.
Right.
And so she was just like unpacking a lot of stuff out of my life. Why I'm choosing what I'm choosing, what's happening with me. And she said, you know what, you just probably need to get some of these emotions out. And one way was to journal.
So it was like a step of recovery for you.
It was a recovery. But I'm not a journaler. I've never been a journaler.
Okay.
And I was talking to one of my friends who's a long-time poet. I've loved poetry for a long time. Oh, I can remember going to the Poetry Lounge back in the day, 10, 15 years ago. But I just never had the courage. I didn't think I could do poetry. And then he said, well, why don't you just try and write it? I said, well, I don't know how. You know? And he said, well, just try it. Just try it. Just write what you feel.
Right.
I said, okay. I gave myself a goal, 30 minutes. 30 days to write one poem.
Okay.
I wanted to do it by my birthday, which is coming up.
When's your birthday?
May 4th.
Okay, May 4th. We're going to have to make sure we get in touch with you and wish you a happy birthday. Maybe come hang out with you. Are you going to be performing for your birthday?
I am. I got a few places that I'm going to be around.
Tell us about it. Where can we find Blkswan?
So on May 5th, I'm going to be doing a poetry brunch on right off 1960 in Walters with Rated Bougie Events. We're celebrating my birthday and her soft opening of her new venue.
Okay. Is this a Black-owned venue?
Yes, it's Black-owned. Another poet, a fellow poet.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to be there May 4th.
May 4th from 2 to 4.
Okay.
And then after that event, we're heading downtown to the Poetry Lounge, hosted by Seven and Bar None.
Okay.
And we will be there.
So we turning up all May 4th.
Yep.
For sure, I'm going to be at your bougie brunch for your birthday.
Okay.
So I've officially invited myself.
And I'm dropping a new poem there.
Okay. So what inspired the new poem?
The new poem is inspired by where I'm at in my life. Where I'm at in my life. I've just finally got comfortable with me. Unapologetically. Authentically.
I love your dimple.
And I can care less who like me and who don't like me anymore.
And you shouldn't care.
Yeah. But I did. That's the thing. I did. Growing up, I did. Even though I gave this image that I didn't care. it really hurt me when somebody would say something to me. But I didn't let you know. But it did make those scars.
And that's what was bottled up. And that's
Yes.
probably what the therapist was like, you know what? All that stuff you've been swallowing and
Yes.
you didn't digest.
I didn't digest.
Come on, let's let it out.
Let's let it out. And so I've been letting it out in lots of poems. But letting it out in poems allowed me to tap into my creativity of things that I enjoy.
And what do you enjoy?
Truthfully,
lay it on the line. That's what you lay it on the line.
Sex.
And who don't enjoy sex, especially when it's good?
Yes, I do. I enjoy it. Which growing up, it's taboo. Taboo. You were there to only make him come. Yo, it was irrelevant.
I didn't grow up in that era.
Well, I did. I did. Because you're the good girl. They want to marry the good girls.
That's true.
They want to marry the girls with a low body count. But you get what you get. An inexperienced woman.
And they're going to go cheat on the good girl.
And that's exactly what happened. Instead of training them up to the way you want, you got an empty slate. Train her up. But you're not confident in yourself to give her what you need her to be. So let me go get one that been out there in the streets. I don't want to marry her, but let me get, because I want to do those kind of things. I want to have fun like that.
And that's not really fair to those women, because let's just say you're a virgin, right?
Yeah.
And you this good girl, and you get with this man who wants a good girl, but he also want her to be that freak in the sheets. Well, let's just take it back, be more realistic. She's not a virgin, but she's probably only been with one man.
Right.
But that one man that she was with, he taught her everything on how to please him. So now when she get with the next man, he loves the fact that she's only been with one man, but now he's not comfortable with her, because how you know how to do this that good? Have you ever experienced
that? No, that wasn't never my experience.
It be like that, because it's like men are worried. Just like you say, I act like I didn't care, but I did.
Right.
Men are the same way. They act like they don't care, but I want to know who else you doing this with. Who did you do this to? So now you can't even enjoy the pleasure that she's bringing you, because you worried about who else got it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to me, I just think people put too much into sex. Just enjoy it.
Just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy it, and allow your partner to enjoy it as well. You know, this is a give and take situation. When you just take, and you don't really care about give, we have a problem here.
Let me ask you this question, since you like to write about what you enjoy and you enjoy relations. So the first time, do you remember the first time you publicly recited a poem that was about sex?
Publicly? Yes.
How did that go? How was that? Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure like your parents wasn't there, because how would you do that in front of your parents? So like, how was that experience?
The experience was really great, because the women got me right away. And I was surprised. I thought the men was going to be like, but the men was like, okay. I've never been checked like that before, so gracefully.
Yeah.
On my very first poem that I did publicly. It shocked everybody.
I think that men should probably tune in more and listen, because your woman might not tell you because she want to spare your feelings. But when it's somebody that you don't have emotions tied to, and she's speaking on some things that women experience, women, bring your men out to see Black Swan, so that she can tell you, or so that she could tell your man tell your man what you trying to tell him without having to tell him. Let her lay it on the line for you, because give us something.
You'll learn something.
Yeah.
You'll learn some things, and it may not be directly to you, but there's going to be some things in my lines of poetry, because I'm telling a woman's story.
Yeah.
And that's why women gravitate to me, because I'm telling their story. I'm saying the things that you want to say, but too scared to say. I'm saying.
And you saying some things that some women might haven't experienced yet, but you will experience it if you keep on living. So now, dang, this familiar. I heard a poem about it. So they might know how to, somebody could get therapy through your therapy.
Yeah, I mean, and you will. So even there's one thing I like to say. It's two things. I'm going to inspire you to think, or I'm going to inspire you to come. Plain and simple. Because my poetry ranges from E, which is to everyone, to triple X, mature audiences only. I'm a very diverse poet. That's why I don't categorize myself as an erotic poet.
Right.
I'm more of an exotic poet because I'm diverse.
Right.
And I make you think on different levels.
Yeah, make me think.
Yeah, I'll make you think.
So, do you have a favorite poem?
Do I have a favorite poem? Depending on my audience, I do.
Okay, well, Lay It on the Line. It's a non-judgment zone.
Uh-huh.
It's mature audience.
Uh-huh.
So, on the spot, freestyle. Give me something, or maybe your favorite poem.
Okay, so I'll give you my favorite poem. I'm generally like when I meet guys, and they'll find out I'm a poet or whatever, and they're like, "Well, spit me something. Let me hear what you got. I want to see how good you are."
Right, I'm gonna be saying the same thing if I'm dating a poet. I want to hear.
Yeah, so it's like giving it a prelude to what's to come.
You building them up.
I'm building them up, so I'm setting the stage. If you ain't coming correct, don't come at all.
Well, you might be intimidating.
And I am, and that's good. Because that means I'm not the one for you.
Yeah.
I am not the one for you. And I'm okay with that because I know I'm not for everybody.
Right. And it's good that you know that. And it's good that for you to demonstrate that so they know, okay, well, I can't be no soft man. I can't be no judgmental man. I can't be no weak man. Because if you, this beautiful woman right here, and you know how to articulate your words, and you know what you want, and you know what you won't deal with, don't come over here with that softness.
No.
So let us hear what you tell these men.
Okay. So here's a poem that's a favorite. It's actually the very first poem that I wrote.
Okay.
And it's called Pussy Push-Ups.
Okay, let me stop. Go ahead.
You are not the average, and that makes me smile. It's sad to say, it's been a while. I'm not talking about sex. That shit comes easy. What I'm talking about is way more sleazy. I like how we do it when we do it. Because when we fuck, it's like doing pussy push-ups. My pussy is exercised in so many ways. Damn, you got me struggling to walk for days. Fuck me until I'm sore. But I'm asking for more. Make me beg and plead with pleasure. Shit, pussy satisfaction beyond measure. Aim for the bottle. Give it all of me. I was blind, now I see exactly what a good dick be. Who needs Kegels when I got you? Pussy push-ups is all I need to do. Grab my hair, suck these nipples, shit. Let's make these fucking sheets ripple. Use your finger and your tongue. Make this pussy wet until I come. You got me shaking and squirming and running. Yes, I'm sore, but guess what? I want an encore. Fold me over. I'm so hot. Let me see how many dick squats you got. And them kisses. Them kisses all over got me singing my neck, my back, kiss my pussy and my... When we're together, it's a love fuck affair. The perfect combination of loving and fucking anywhere. Unfortunately, our time together has to come to an end, but not before one last taste, one last bend. Oh, what a wonderful journey this has been. You have set my expectation for men. Now when I meet a man and he look at me like, what's up? All I want to know is, can you make this pussy push up? Thank you.
Man, and that's your first one?
That's my very first poem I ever wrote.
So how long, do you remember how long it took you to write
3 days. And I thought I gave myself 30. And it took me 3.
So you're a natural at it.
Yeah, I saw that. I've learned now I'm natural at it and I'm great at it.
Yeah, you really are.
So I'm just perfecting my craft, which is why I get on any open mic that I can that's open to my type of poetry.
Right. Well, we definitely have an open mic over here, and you can get on it anytime. That was great. I think I heard you perform that one. Was it at Rhythm and Poets?
The very
Yeah.
first time I came
And
there.
I was like, you shut it down. I mean, it was a lot of wonderful poets there that evening, but it was like the timing where you was placed at it. It was like, oh, she was dead on, and I was like,
Yeah. So that's ours. Like I said, I'm gonna inspire you.
yeah,
I'm gonna inspire you to think some things. And that's for women and men. Women, I know you like feeling that. You want to feel like that. New experiences create new standards.
Yeah.
And so when I met somebody that made me feel like that inspired that poem, I'm looking for that every time.
Yeah, they done set the bar
it's
high.
Gonna come close. You gonna come close or don't come at all. I can't deal with no lame stuff after experiencing that. I'm doing myself a disservice, and I've done that long enough.
So what do you think about women? And I'm not going to say men, like women. I had a friend once that was married to a guy, and she told me that she could count on one hand how many times she was able to come with him. And I'm like, am I wrong for thinking that women shouldn't marry men that don't sexually satisfy them?
Well, I'm going to say this. In my experiences, we have ulterior motives. And when you have an ulterior motive for the relationship, you tend to accept things because I want to be married. I want to have kids. I want this. I want that. So things that may not be the best in the bedroom, you're just like, okay, I'll deal with it because I'm getting X, Y, Z.
So you're making a sacrifice for
you're
your
making
sexual satisfaction.
And then when X, Y, and Z, now all the good things that they were pouring into you, they start either pulling it back. Now that whole part, you ain't even putting it down like that. I'm dealing with that because you were giving me this. Now you took this away from me. Now you feel the lack of
I think that this conversation is going to be beneficial for a lot of men because men always say, oh, she just changed on me. Yeah. She didn't change on you. She was tolerating you before because you was doing something that was very good to her, to make her overlook the fact that this was a shortcoming. Right. So maybe you did something that changed, and because all these things that she checked off, you can no longer check them off anymore. Right. Now it's intensifying this. So women don't just change. Maybe something that you're doing is changing, and now it's magnifying the fact that I can't even get
I can't even get mine. I was okay with it. I was okay with
I was distracted by all the good things.
Because of all the good things that you were bringing to the table. Yeah. If you got 10 things that you want, and you giving me 9, I might let that one go. Yeah. Because you giving me 9. Now you taking back. You taking at least 8 of them back.
So what about the women?
The scales not tipping on our favor anymore.
Right. So we talked about how men want women with a clean slate or whatever instead of building them up and teaching them how to do that. What do you think about a woman teaching a man how to please? In your experience, is that something that's complicated to do with maybe like teaching a man? Are they open to that? Or
in my experience, you have to let a man know what you like. Because what you like is totally different what the last woman liked. They're going to come, and just like women, we're going to come with what we already know. But if what I already know is not pleasing to you or is not doing it for you, tell me because I don't know. And we both have to be grown enough to know that, hey, my goal is to please my significant other. And if they're opening up their mouth to tell me this is how I like it, God damn it.
Listen,
or you're gonna cause some stuff in the relationship going forward.
Yeah. Girl, you are so deep. So, in the poetry world, is it a difference with men poets and women poets that you've experienced? Do different poets, are they inspired by different things? That what you've experienced with poetry?
Well, I'm new to poetry.
Okay.
So
that is just so hard for me to believe.
So I really don't know the entire poetry world. I'm just getting exposed to a lot of the open mics and the people that's in it. So I am I really don't have an opinion about it. Only thing that I do know is that generally when I get on the open mic, I'm pretty much like the only person that's going to drop some stuff that's on a very sexual nature to the point where I'm raw.
Okay.
I've seen women, they're very innuendos and this, no.
Because they're probably in that era where they still worried about the judgment
And
or
I'm
what
not.
somebody's saying.
And I'm not. And I'm pretty sure there is poets that are like me. I just have not been on I haven't shared the mic with them yet.
Yeah.
I know they are.
Yeah.
I just haven't shared the mic with them. Yeah.
So if you, in a perfect world, how you envision your goals, how does your goals line up with poetry? Or how, if you could say, well, this is what I want for myself and for my poetry, like for your career as a poet, how does that look?
So I've already been planning that out. I have 3 places where I want to be in poetry. One, I want to host my own show, which I do. Once a quarter, I host a poetic therapy. And I'm the feature myself.
Ain't nothing wrong with
I'm
that.
feature myself. I'm gonna feature myself and another poet.
Okay.
That I align with the poetry that they're bringing. That they inspired me. I'm like, oh, I love their poetry. I'm generally gonna ask them to feature, or if it's a particular theme that I want, a poet that I know rocks that theme very, very well, I'm gonna ask them to be a feature, and then I will have some open mic poets. This is a show that I host once a quarter, like I said. And my next show, for those that are interested, is June 27th. It's Hotel Erotica. That means every poet on the mic will be an erotic poet. Follow me on Instagram, Blkswan Poetry. That's Black BLK Swan Poetry, one word, and you'll see the information as I drop. I haven't dropped it yet, but that is the date. So save the date, June 22nd.
Now, do you have a website or
Nope.
just the Instagram?
Just my Instagram.
Okay, give it to them one more time.
Blkswan Poetry. That's Black BLK Swan Poetry, one word. Okay. So that's one aspect of my poetry. Okay. The second one, I want to do bachelorette parties. So when it comes to bachelorette, especially as we get older, we don't need no men hollering, jumping all on us and whatever. But we still want to have that fun, erotic type experience. I want women to hire me.
Yes.
To be there.
I'm glad that you're saying that,
to be
because
their entertainment. I've done it already, so I enjoyed it. I used to do, back in the day, I used to do bedroom candy. And I used to go around to bachelorette parties, and I would bring out the toys. And not only did I show you how to use them, but I educated you on it, and we had a great time. I stayed booked every weekend. I love doing that. So I'm like, you know what? I can do this with my poetry. I'm going to bring the music, I'm going to bring the games, and I'm going to bring me, and I'm going to entertain the ladies. And you don't have to worry about it, especially the bride. You don't have to worry about this man thing hanging all and jumping all in your face,
or being embarrassed,
because your husband gonna see it. We're too old for that now. There's nothing wrong with exotic dances, but as we grow, we need something different.
And that's such a good idea, because I think about like how I'm a socialite, I guess, or a hostess. I love having little small gatherings and stuff like that. So it's like, okay, not even just for a bachelorette party. Like if I just wanted to do like a fun day Sunday brunch with my girls, I could hire you to come over, and you could be out with entertainment.
That's my third thing, is events.
Yeah.
Not any events, because I love doing erotic poetry. Even though I can do events, poetry for different events, which I actually am going to be doing a dance event. I'm a dancer. That means I swing, I step, I salsa, bachata. I will do any partner dance, and I've done it for years and years and years. And so now I switched over to poetry. So one of my good friends, Iris and Walter, they are hosting their annual 2-step event. Okay. And they reached out to me and said, we normally invite a poet. Would you be our poet this time? I wrote a special poem just about dance. But it has to mean something to me for me to do a poem, a custom poem. I'm not that poet that just will write me this about. That's not me. I have to be connected to the poem in order for me
to deliver it. Yeah.
I got to be connected to it.
Yeah.
Whether I'm connecting it to you by your experience with me, but just to write a poem. That I'm not that poet. There's so many other great poets out there like that. She's just not me.
Right.
But that is my thing. I want to do event poetry for something like a girls' day, a brunch. Somebody's doing a comedy show or maybe doing something right. Something I want to open up.
Right. I like that for you. I love that for you, actually. So everybody that's out there that's watching, if you know you're getting married soon, your homegirl getting married soon, you have some entertainment, like maybe you're hosting a comedy event, rhythm and poets, whatever, and you're looking for an erotic poet that is passionate about her craft. She just gave y'all her Instagram information. It's Black Swan
Poetry.
Black Swan Poetry. Go ahead and reach out to her so that you can get connected to see how you can hire her for your next event. I guarantee you're gonna love it. What she just gave you right now, that was just a teaser. Her in person is a whole vibe. Seriously, you're a whole vibe by yourself. I could not wait to get you on the show because I just knew that, like, people that I know, they say, oh, I like poetry, but they don't really get it. You know, it's different when it's like when you're right there watching it live. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, even my son, he always like, I'm not into poetry, because you see like the basic poetry. It's more to it than just the, what you see on TV. It gets deep.
Yeah.
And like the fact that you say like I have to be connected with it, it's like if you're connected to it, you're gonna be passionate about it, and it's like, okay, now I'm just like, what's she gonna say next?
Pretty much.
And that's what I like.
Now, I'm gonna tell you this much: my mother and my aunt, she's the matriarch of the family. They're in their 70s, over 75, both of them, and they saw me perform for the first time live.
Was it
erotic? At my March show. So the first half of the show was me introducing Black Swan. So I did some rated G poems, and then I transitioned to a rated R poem, and then the second half was XXX only. And so my auntie, she comes, she says, I have something to tell you, and I don't want you to take it personally. I don't want you to take it offensively. I say, yes, auntie. She said, you's a bad bitch. Let me tell you, for her to tell me that, I was like, okay. I was doing something right.
Yeah, you are. So growing up, what type of little girl were you? So, because this will help paint the picture for me when your auntie and your mom see you, because it's like, okay, you this little good girl, and then it's like because when I saw you, I'm like, oh, I did not expect that voice to come from her.
That's usually the perception. Usually when I go into an event, I'm going to sit right here and I'll be to myself and I'm enjoying the show. You won't see nothing, and then I'll just be talking to people regularly. You won't even know I'm even a poet.
Yeah.
And then they'll call Black Swan.
And you waltz on
and I'll walk on up to the stage. And the minute I open up my mouth, the things I say, I didn't expect that to come out of you. You were sitting here the whole time with me. Girl.
I would have never thought.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's usually how it is. Especially a lot of people who do know me.
Yeah.
That's the last thing that they would expect.
Right.
Sometimes I laugh at my own self when I write poems. I'm like, girl, you really said that? Yeah, she really said that.
Yeah. And you know what you're saying? I'm pretty sure somebody's thinking it or they felt it.
Oh, all the time.
And it's just like, I wish I had the courage to be that bold, like to get up, because it takes a lot to get up in front of people and to just talk. So just talking, it takes a lot. But to talk about something that you're passionate about, that you feeling, like that take a special person to be able to do that.
Therapy freed me.
Tell me more about the therapy.
Therapy freed me. Therapy, when I went through therapy to kind of get out these last issues, it helped so much because I was just able to be free. Free. Now, I've been unapologetically myself for a long time, but never been free with it. So now you have freedom and unapologetic.
And a voice.
And a voice, you get Black Swan.
Yeah, so in our community, a lot of people are against therapy.
Yeah, because they don't know any better.
Yeah.
If they knew how much therapy could help them, they would. So that's one of the things I always tell people when they're talking about reparations.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the only reparations black people need, because not everybody know what to do with money.
Yeah.
They're going to spend it and then nothing changes.
Yeah.
If they gave black people, all of African descendants, free therapy for the rest of their lives, that will change us.
Mm-hmm.
That will change the dynamic of black people and the trajectory that we're going towards. Free therapy. Because we have so many wounds that we have to heal. Not only the wounds that we experience, but the wounds of our ancestors that was passed down from generation to generation to generation, that's deep buried inside of us. To the way we think, to the way we feel, to the way we emotionally deal with stuff.
Yeah, just how we perceive things too.
Yeah. That's what we need therapy. And I wish I would have gotten therapy after every heartbreak in my life.
Yeah.
Because if I would have chose different every time. Instead, I let this broken little girl choose my husbands and the men I dated every time. And I got the exact same thing, just in a different face. But they all treated me the same way. Yeah.
So do you feel like who you were was attracting the same type of guy, and you had to see yourself differently? Like, what did the therapy teach you?
Therapy taught me that, therapy taught me so much, girl. But if I had to say the one thing that therapy probably taught me the most is to say what's on my heart and to feel everything. Don't invalidate my feelings, and don't compare my pain to another pain that I experienced. That every pain is valid. So I have to say 13 years ago, my son died, and he was murdered. So that pain right there, I will always justify everything against that pain. No, there's nothing that's gonna ever compare to that pain. But if I feel every emotion as I come along, I won't start bearing that on top of, because I dealt with that. That I knew I had to get therapy for.
Yeah.
But all the pain that I experienced, that growing through relationships, dealing with men, dealing with people who didn't take my feelings into consideration, saying things that wasn't conducive to my growth, all those things I held on to. But with therapy, I was able to now take those and throw them away. Throw them back out in the atmosphere, because they didn't belong to me anymore. Other people's experiences of me ain't got no business me holding on to that
at all.
Yeah, so I'll let that stuff go.
Just you saying that you lost your son, my condolences. Like, I was just talking to my friend the other day, like, I never want to know what that feel like. And you're here for a reason. One of my best friends, my girlfriend, her husband, because it's her son, but it's her husband's son. So her bonus baby, teenager, I think 19 years old. He was just murdered like last week, a few days ago, not even a whole week ago. With what you experienced, if you could reach my friend and tell her and her husband what helped you to deal with those feelings, because I don't know if you've gotten over it, because I don't know if that's something that you could ever get over. But I don't know that they are gonna get counseling, but if you can tell them something to encourage them that somebody could have said to you to help you grieve better, what would you tell them?
So yeah, it's definitely experience that you don't wish on your worst enemy, and you never get over it. Your heart gets stronger, and you're able to build a new life, because time gonna keep moving on.
Yeah.
And what I would tell your friends, I would let you know that what helped me is to be grateful. I learned how to have gratitude in everything. I became grateful for the 19 years that I was given with my son, because so many mothers didn't get 19 months. They didn't get 19 days, not even 19 minutes. And I had 19 years with my baby to grow, to love, to give back. And he changed me, and he grew me up. He made me a woman, because I was a girl when I had my son. I was 19 myself. And so my 19-year-old son.
And you lost him at 19.
And he just turned 19.
That's so hard. I'm a very emotional person, and I only have one son. So just hearing stuff like this, or just even learning that my friend, they lost their baby, that breaks my heart, So you being here is for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I have a gift for your friends. I'm in my previous life. I ain't gonna say my previous life. In another form of me, I told you I was an author, and so I wrote a book called The Resurrection: Life After the Death of Your Child, and I would like to gift that book. So next time you see me, we coordinate. I will give you that book to give to your friend, because as friends of parents that lose their children, you don't know what to say, you don't know what to do. There's nothing you can unless you walked in their shoes.
Right.
And most people haven't. And so I wrote this book so that people can help their friends.
Yeah.
You give them this book and say, one day you're going to want to do something about it and you're not going to know what to do. Give them this book and tell them to open it. And it will give them a blueprint to what I did to create a new normal, a new life for myself. Because when people see me, you never think I went through the journey I went through, because you only see me in this phase of my life. But there's growth, there is a journey that has to be held, and they have to go through that. Don't, I'm going to say this, don't run away from the pain. Feel it. It is a result of the love you have for your son. Don't try to hold your tears in. Let them come when they come. Let them come when they come.
Powerful. Thank you for that. So, before we wrap up this interview, if Black Swan could go back to her younger self, what would you tell your younger self?
I would tell my younger self, it's okay to be different. And you're not going to be for everybody.
Right.
So don't try to fit in and conform to everybody.
Be yourself.
Just be yourself.
I love that.
Yeah.
So we have a gift for you. My show is produced by Who Made Their Visuals and Who Made Their Clothing. So this is a t-shirt dress, right? And I know it's going to look good on all that over there. So we want you to have this, and remember us.
Thank you.
When you put it on, take a picture, tag us in it. One more time before we go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you and where they can see you perform next.
Okay, so you can find me on Instagram, Black Swan Poetry, BLK Swan Poetry, one word. And I will be performing next at Rated Bougie Events. The Portrait Brunch is right off of 1960 in Walters from 2 to 4 on May the 5th. And just go to my page on Instagram and you will see the flyer with all the details where you can get the tickets from.
I'll be resharing her flyer so that you can go, and I'll tell my friends and see what they got going on, and maybe we can all be bougie up in there and come support you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining Lay It on the Line, and I can't wait to see you on May 4th.
All right. I thank you for having me.
My pleasure.
Lay it on the line, talk through my problems, let's try resolving them. Should we even try? Meet me halfway, and I'll give you time. Lay it on the line, show me your heart, and I'll show you mine. If we want this, if we need this, then let's lay it on the line. Settle down, let's try to talk it out. Let's figure out what all the fuss about. You had your turn, now it's mine. I never heard time and time, yeah. So many thoughts in my head, so many words left unsaid. Baby, I know we're trying.